It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Ernie Johnson joined by Shaquille O'Neal. Kenny the Jet Smith, thanks for tuning in. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. For tonight's game, we'll be watching the Golden State Warriors as they go up against the Los Angeles Clippers. For Los Angeles, they're off to a better start than last season, and that certainly bodes well. Always some changes from season to season, but they're going in the right direction. And tonight we'll be watching Steph Curry. Known for his offensive firepower, but he's made major strides in all areas since coming into this league, Shaq.
Yeah, he didn't have great handles when he entered. Now one of the top 2 dribblers in the league.
Yeah, I agree. You know what the funny thing is?
What?
He used to be the guy they sat on the bench in fourth quarters when he first got there. Now he's the clutch guy in the NBA, and his turnover to assist ratio thing has gone down tremendously.
Who does he remind you of, let's say in the last 15 years in the league? Who does Steph Curry remind you?
He's a taller version for me of Mahmoud Abdul.
Oh, you stole my name. I was getting ready to say Chris Jackson.
Do you see some Steve Nash in there, too?
No.
No, not Nash, because Nash was pass first. You know, he was definitely pass first his whole career. I think scoring became better for Nash.
But Nash could shoot 3, and Nash, I see Steph do what Nash does a lot, just in probing defenses and being able to weave his way
Nash
through the paint.
Nash was an explosive scorer. He was an explosive passer. Steph Curry's an explosive scorer.
That's close, Ernie, but no cigar.
Yeah. I wouldn't light it.
You know what I like to say about Steph Curry, don't you? He makes it look effortless. Here's Kevin Harlan.
One of just the many signs that let you know just where you are in California. It's Western Conference time for the traveling Golden State Warriors today. This homestand ends here for the Clippers as they get ready to hit the road. And, of course, Carmelo Anthony. Even with him gone, they've shaken it off quickly and have really come together as a team.
And as shocked as people are that they would trade away a player of his caliber, Kevin, they didn't just let him go for nothing. They got a lot in return. I think it's a deal that's going to really help them down the road.
And that's the idea. You know, you want to build a foundation on which this team can continue to move upward. So certainly some fans unhappy to see him go, but fans will be patient, and they also continue to be fans.
Now Golden State's starting 5. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. Draymond Green is out there with Pachulia, and it's Durant in at the small forward position. Now here's Griffin. Right side, the pass to Paul. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Fades. And Bryant the bucket on the assist by George.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Everyone understands the importance of Paul George. The ball club. That's why taking his offensive game to the next level would be so beneficial.
Yeah, he has all the physical tools, the instincts, and obviously he has made those strides. But if he wants to become a top 5 guy, he's still got a little bit of work to do in terms of his game.
Griffin kicks to Paul. Shot clock at 6. The Clippers need to get off a shot. And here's Bryant for 3. And the shot is good. Bryant's got 5 now.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3. From a man PG, Paul George, so much focus has been on extending his range, but ever since he started launching over 5 3-pointers a game, he shot under 43% from the field. Maybe time for him to balance out that shot selection.
Here's Paul, following the basket by Stephen Curry. And George, here we go, banked in off the glass. George has got his first basket.
That's 3 straight shots to fall here to start. Looking good. And guys, talking about Paul George, the continued improvement of his ball handling is key to generating more offense. That was a weakness of his coming out of college. He's worked on it, but making it a strength the way LeBron has would go a long way toward getting him to that next level.
And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play.
And you see the way Blake Griffin plays. He is a force. Very hard to contain him when he gets in close just due to his strength and activity.
For Griffin and his ability to create contact close, he's been called a bull in a china shop, something that I think Clarkie embraces.
Yeah, I think he'd rather be the bull than the china in that situation because of his strength and physicality. And I think that's the right mentality to have as a power forward.
First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played. Paul dishes to Griffin. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Good, just like soup. A little more ferocious, though.
Okay, Clark approves, everybody.
Yeah, but that's how you finish strong. Young fella's wearing the rim out.
Durant, wide open, he fires. Misses the three. Last outing for Golden State, they won that game against Toronto.
And the way they attacked the basket in that game was unreal. I mean, after a while, the defenders seemed to just wave the white flag.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, that's what will happen when a team continues to attack the basket and come away with layups. The defense tends to get demoralized and deflated. Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Now here's Curry, coming off a stellar performance against Toronto.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Better to be lucky than good sometimes. Fortunately, they didn't get burned on that one.
Here's George. 14 points from him the last game against Detroit.
And equally as impressive, the playmaking. Just sensational. The way he was seeing the court and making the game easy for his teammates. You know, just a little too fancy on that play.
Well, you don't want to force any play, but particularly the alley-oop. You'd like to try that when it's wide open.
Now here's Curry. Outside Durant. And a great assist by Curry. As that one goes in. And that's 10 points for Kevin Durant. The Clippers in the lead. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Steve Kerr. He knows that the challenge for his team in this game will be to slow down Blake Griffin, who he described as instant momentum. With Griffin being such a handful physically, they plan to limit his ability to get any space around the basket and hopefully cut down those powerful drives toward the rim.
Thanks again, Doris. Curry kicks to Pachulia. Thompson against George. On the wing, Green for three. It's hauled in by George. The Clippers have gone 6 of 8 in the game so far. A very solid start for them. Lets it go from 14. Griffin sets the screen for Bryant. Up off the screen.
Come on, fella. Power it down. That dunk was redunculous.
There was absolutely nobody that was going to get in the way of that.
And not when he's coming in with that kind of force.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. Timeout called the Warriors. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. David West, he's checked in for Pachulia. Iguodala comes in for Green, and it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. And it's Durant missing.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Anderson Varejao checked in for Durant.
Anderson Varejao.
Paul outside. He dishes it to Whiteside. Griffin against West. 5 on the clock. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And guys, Blake Griffin has got to be one of the more humble stars in the league. You rarely hear about off-court issues and interviews. He's engaging and comes off kind of as a regular guy.
That's the way it appears to me, Kevin. The young man has his head screwed on pretty tight and both feet on the ground. He started out as a class act, and he stayed one.
JaVale McGee's checked in for the Clippers. T.J. Warren comes in for George, and he gets it to go.
That feed by Iguodala, a really good example of his passing ability.
Clippers leading by 4. Paul kicks to Bryant, and there's the feed to Griffin. Whistle blows. Yep, that's going to be a travel.
And while we've got a chance, let's check out the stats for Thompson. 6th in scoring, and his sweet shooting stroke places him in the top 15 league-wide in three-point percentage. You've got to play him tight.
And you made note of it. I mean, his points per game average is unreal right now, scoring whenever they need him to.
West a screen on Paul. Livingston kicks to Thompson. Off target with his 3.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
1:10 left to play in the first. West setting the pick for Thompson. And he gets it to go. Now just a 2-point Clipper lead.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Now here's Paul. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Right side, Bryant. Wide open. Shot is off, and it's the Warriors taking it the other way. Their last encounter was in Oakland.
They needed a few extra minutes to get the W in that game, but they got it just the same.
I like the way they handled themselves in that overtime period, Greg. They had a whole lot left in their game in that extra period.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Ryan against Thompson. Rebound by the Clippers. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And really the signature of that game was what they were able to do from a defensive standpoint, particularly on the low post.
Yeah, and they were up in the air an awful lot in that paint area, getting their hands on shots, a lot of them, but if they didn't block them or touch them, they actually changed them.
And both free throws good from Paul.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
And that does it for the first quarter. The Clippers on top. They lead by 6. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And earlier, Chris Paul told us about the depth of their roster. So important for any team. When your starters feel that good about their second unit guys, that's a heck of a asset that a team can have. And if you've seen Chris Paul cheering from the bench, you know that it's very, very true.
And Kevin, that's the kind of team that's always been so much fun to play on. Everybody's really pulling for one another, no matter who's playing. Even in practice, with that kind of a team, you tend to have more fun.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here. What have they been doing or not doing?
Just the start they're looking for in this game. Solid offensively through the first.
Very crisp and sharp. Not much stagnation at all on offense.
So on the floor for Golden State to begin the second quarter. Curry is out there with Livingston. And it's Durant. And it's Green. And it's Pachulia in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Clippers leading by 4. What a year for the Warriors. Clark won their division for the first time in 39 years, ran away with the very tough Western Conference.
And there were a number of surprises last season, Kevin, but the Warriors were at the top of the list. I mean, I don't think anybody, including you and I, pegged them to be as good as they were.
Especially the way the finals began.
Exactly.
Griffin's checked in for Carter Williams. Curry kicks to Durant. There's the dish to Pachulia. There's a good screen. Here's Curry with the three. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
And the Warriors won 51 games back in 2014, improved that mark by 16 wins last season. Among teams that won at least 50 games in the previous year, that 16-game improvement was an NBA record for the Warriors.
Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. The Clippers shooting fantastically in this game, 62% from the floor. George with the ball. He's a guy that can score, no doubt, averaging over 25 points a game. Warren kicks to Griffin. And there's the pass to George. That one goes. Count it. George has got 6.
It goes without saying the Warriors set franchise records all over the place with their play. Their win total being the highest ever, but also of note was it was the first time they've won 50 games in back-to-back seasons. They seem to truly have arrived as a top-notch franchise in this current state of the NBA.
Here's Curry. Paul George making his last shot. Good on that shot. And with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut down now to just 2 points with that basket from Curry. For Los Angeles, they've gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Pass to Warren. Griffin kicks to Redick. Back to Griffin. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Fires top of the key. And that one goes long.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Pass to Green. They set the pick. Kicks it to Livingston. Outside Durant. Three-pointer. That doesn't go either for Durant.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
Here's Redick. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Puts up the baby hook. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And now a quick rundown of the leading free throw shooters at small forward this year. It's a pretty sure thing whenever one of them gets to the line. Paul George on top.
And most impressive is that he's done it in the first quarter, in the clutch, whenever, as consistent as they come.
Well, you look at him at the line, you can't tell if it's a preseason game or the NBA Finals. Demeanor and stroke never wavers.
That free throw good from Griffin.
Griffin just having a terrific game. 10 points, and he's managed to get 4 of his points by way of the free throw line.
And Clark, that might not make the highlight reel, but those are important points nonetheless.
Here is Livingston. He kicks it to Green. Pass to Pachulia. And it comes off the front of the rim. Well, T.J. Warren had a very interesting start to his NBA career. Spent most of the first half in the D-League. In the second half, Clark, he finally got some minutes and really provided a spark.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't have great range on his jumper right now, and he's not an elite ball handler, but he's one of the best cutters in the game. Moves well without the ball, so I think his future is bright nonetheless.
And talking about TJ, guys, he put up a few interesting numbers towards the end of last season. Shot 64% from the field in March. Had 18 points in one game, 17 in another. The last game of the year, he chips in with 6 assists. So now it's up to him to put it all together on a more consistent basis. Just a grinder, always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass, and that's one of the things he brings to the table.
Here's George. Scored the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
I mean, it's just fun to sit back and enjoy watching him operate. And that's what it looked like the D was doing as well. They're just sitting back and watching.
And, you know, getting back to TJ, yes, he needs to improve his shooting range. But what I'd like to see are major improvements on defense. I mean, he shows active hands when he's near the ball, but he can also be a bit lazy as a defender and gambles and reaches too much. That won't get it done at this level.
Here's Durant, and a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got 3 assists in the game. Clippers leading by 4. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
And guys, it's easy to forget sometimes just how young Kevin Durant still is. I mean, last season, he became the second youngest player to get to 15,000 points.
For Durant getting to 15,000 points, the only player across to do it quicker was LeBron James.
Yeah, and it's even more impressive when you realize that Durant did spend 1 year in college, Kevin. You take a year off his age, and he and LeBron got to that point plateau in virtually the same amount of time.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles, JaVale McGee's checked in for Whiteside. Bryant comes in for Warren. And it's Paul in for J.J. Redick. They get it back. McGee. Oh, trying for it. To the middle. Here's George. Second chance shot. And he drops it in from the low post. George has got the lead up to 6 now for Los Angeles.
Last season, the Clippers came away with the 3rd seed out west. They were very tough in conference and managed to get 37 of their 56 wins against Western Conference teams.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. As you said, for the Clippers, 37 wins last year against the rest of the West. That total was the 2nd most against the rest of the West among any team in the league. Trailed only Golden State in that regard.
And you know what? They played the top West teams tough as well. One of only 3 Western Conference teams to be over 500 against the rest of the playoff teams from the West.
The Warriors making a switch here. Varejão's checked in.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Well, guys, they need to do something to reduce this deficit. We'll see if that's the answer.
Now here's Curry following the miss by Griffin. Picked by Varejão. Curry against George. Outside Curry. From deep, Iguodala. Good, and Curry gets the assist. Curry's got 4 assists in the game.
And when he's got that much of a height advantage on the perimeter, it's really tough on the defender. Easy 3-pointer.
Now here's Paul. He had 16 points in the win against Detroit. Outside Bryant. And it's out of bounds. The Clippers able to retain possession here.
It's still early on as the new basketball season gets underway for Golden State. Here's where they stand. Tops in scoring, 1st in assists, and they're also number 1 in free throw shooting. A team that makes foul shots gives itself and its coaching staff a lot of confidence.
And you go back to their offense, the most explosive in the league. I mean, everyone talks about the great offense beating great defenses. And I tell you what, they make it difficult to hang with them.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Here's George. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there. And now a 7-point Los Angeles lead. Golden State's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the 2nd quarter. Outside Curry. Back to Thompson from deep. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Bryant. Clippers leading by 7. Paul with the ball. Picked up by Thompson. Paul against Thompson. Down low. Second chance shot. West with the block. And now here comes Iguodala leading the break. The shot's good on the assist by West. Iguodala's got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Now here's Paul. And you know the points will always be there for him. He's averaging just a shade under 20 points a game right now. In the corner, Iguodala with it. West a screen on Bryant. Iguodala the pass to West. McGee with the block. Varejao against Bryant. Paul dishes to Griffin. McGee a screen. Griffin against West. Not enough on that one as it misses.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Iguodala kicks to Thompson. Here's Curry. No good.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. Clippers lead by 5. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Kevin, obviously a very close game. What has been your approach tonight?
Well, we're just trying to pack the paint. Those guys are great. So we're just trying to make them see a few guys, get some deflections, and get some easy baskets.
Kevin?
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be taking a look back at the first half of basketball. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He had 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Coming in off a tough game last time out for him, he's clearly turned the page, and it's bouncing back tonight in a big way. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, they've gotten to the line tonight. Oh.
Well, that's all for now, as it looks like the second half.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
Greg, that's exactly what we're talking about when we talk about being efficient as an offensive player. Fully on display there with him.
Griffin is out there with Whiteside, and it's Chris Paul, and there's Bryant, and it's George in at the small forward. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. Now here's Curry. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down to just 3 in the basket from Durant.
And what a first year it was for Steve Kerr and the Warriors. It was the best debut as a new coach ever. 67 wins. He also established a franchise win total in his first year.
Warriors trail by 3. And Curry has it in the corner. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. And it's 6 points for Steph Curry. About 1 minute played here in the second half. Paul outside. George passes to Paul. Six to shoot. Back to George. Here's the 3. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Durant attacking and misses it off the right side of the rim. Clippers leading by 4. Inside. Bryant.
Oh, my goodness. He's just getting nasty on them now. Wow.
Yeah, now that they've built up a lead, this is when he really breaks out those incredibly slick moves.
Man, like a Ginsu knife, just slicing and dicing.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Kia. Good stuff on that Kia Slam Cam. Now a timeout called by Golden State.
If you look at Chris Paul, you're looking at a guy who really is the standard bearer of point guards. I mean, he can pass, he can score, he plays great defense, he also competes. But what makes him the floor general that all others are measured against really the instincts and leadership.
Now here's Paul following the shot by Kevin Durant. Whiteside kicks to George. Outside Bryant releases. Bryant can't get that one to fall. Going back to Chris Paul, if you could build a point guard from scratch, Clark, he might be the model.
Yeah, I tell you what, you could do much worse than him, that's for sure. One of the very best. 6 times he's led the NBA in steals. Just an incredible all-around player. One of the greatest team leaders, I think, in the history of the league as well.
For the last 2 seasons, he's led the league in assists, you're right. Here's Paul. The Warriors making the shot. Outside for George. Tries again. They grab their own miss. To the inside. Here's Griffin. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. He's made all 5 of his attempts at the line so far.
Looking back to last season, he was at about 73%.
The free throw drops for Griffin. And Hassan Whiteside of Miami had the breakout year of all breakout years. Clark, he blew up in the right way last season. Averaged a double-double over 48 games.
Yeah, and great to see for Whiteside because he did have some issues prior to the breakout year. And it's nice to see him find his stride and produce with that awesome talent he has. A wide open 3. They need much better communication defensively.
On the wing, Bryant, defended by Durant. A baseline J. Jump shot is good. Bryant's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And talking about Whiteside, he isn't completely out of the woods yet. I mean, after a couple of ejections last season, his teammates publicly condemned his actions. They questioned his maturity, challenged him to be more reliable, and for the most part, he was after those incidents.
And that one's good. 16 points for Kevin Durant.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
Paul dishes to Griffin. Back to Paul. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Griffin's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
And you know, the thing about Whiteside, guys, when he's right, he's an unbelievable game changer. 2nd in the league in blocked shots last season. Also posted the 2nd best field goal percentage. The guy can play if he keeps his head squarely on his neck.
Here's Paul. Following the basket by Draymond Green. Here's Bryant. And Thompson sends it back. Livingston passes to Thompson. They set the pick. Here's Livingston. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Blake Griffin. When you think about Shaun Livingston, you think about the career that might have been an absolute rising star after being taken, Clark, 4th back in the 2004 draft.
Kevin, he was averaging over 5 assists a game as a teenager. And his shot was improving every year. Then the devastating knee injury. Just great to see him back playing basketball.
He throws good, Livingston.
And getting back to Livingston, he's had comeback after comeback. I mean, each time he'd start to flash those unbelievable movement skills, he'd get injured again. It's a shame because he was on the path to becoming one of the game's great young point guards.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Warren's checked in for George. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Paul. Now, here's Redick. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And Bryant kicks to Griffin. Back to Bryant. Unloads. Here's Whiteside. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And that one misses.
And for Livingston, last season with the Warriors was a dream. He got to back up Steph, So he got to play against second stringers, and we got to see flashes of his dominant traits again. What a happy ending for him. And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
Bryant. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him. Bryant's got 6 here in this quarter. The Warriors have gone 7 of 11, a lucky field goal percentage here in the third. Livingston dishes to West. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession.
And who doesn't love stats? Here are some numbers for Green. Getting around 12 points a game, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. And his rebounding is what's most impressive. He's shown tremendous determination on the backboard.
And it's a big asset for this team. I mean, he blocks out on the defensive glass, and then he keeps balls alive at the offensive end.
JaVale McGee's checked in for Blake Griffin. The Clippers have gone 6 of 14 since halftime. A little cold from the field. You can point to any number of things, Clark. The Warriors did well last year. Their play on the road being one of them.
Well, the Warriors were exactly road warriors all season long, partner. Hit the ground running and finished with the league best 28 road wins.
Warriors trail by 5. Outside Curry. Feeds to Thompson. Takes the 3. And it's Whiteside with the rebound. Whiteside's got his 8th rebound here tonight.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Bryant passes to Whiteside. Back to Bryant. Just 5 on the clock. There's the bucket. Good. Now it's a 7-point Clipper lead. Golden State's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Curry kicks to Green. Back to Curry. The screen from Thompson. Green with the screen on Redick to the right side. West with a wide open look. And again, no good by Golden State.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And the wide open shot from Redick. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark.
Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity.
Well, they ought to be. I mean, that's basic basketball time management. You've got to be aware of your clock and your situation.
Clippers leading by 7. Los Angeles calls timeout. And for JaVale McGee, what was once such a promising career is now, Clark, I think, kind of at a crossroads.
Yeah, you know what? He is capable of being a major rim protector and rebounder, but I think teams are getting a little bit impatient with him because he's just not mature to the point that you would have expected.
Now here's Bryant. 7-point game, the biggest lead in the game. To the middle. Here's McGee. That's in, coming off an assist from Bryant. Bryant's got 3 assists now in this one.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You're exactly right. It's been all good at one end, and let's be diplomatic and just say not so good at the other end.
Here's Curry, and nothing is falling for him right now. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Los Angeles on top. They lead by 9. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. Los Angeles leading by 9. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this fourth quarter. And Golden State looking at who they've got. Thompson and Iguodala on the perimeter. Pachulia is out there with Durant, and it's Curry in at the point guard position. And it's sent back by George.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. they've definitely been winning that battle on the boards.
You know what? No rebounds, no rings, and they've controlled the boards, and that's what's given them control of this game.
Warriors trail by 11. Curry kicks to Iguodala. Down low, and that one's good. Durant.
That's really told the story today, guys. I mean, throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and then finish.
More active and more physical down low. That's what's really been the difference thus far.
And he gets it to go.
And an open path to the hoop there. Easy bucket. We've seen that far too many times today.
Paul's gone 2 of 3 from the floor. Curry dishes to Thompson. He feeds it to Durant. Here's Iguodala. Another miss by Iguodala.
And, you know, coaches just love players who they can count on to give that effort defensively.
And he clearly is one of those guys, Greg. We saw it right there. Nice work forcing that miss.
And the slam by Blake Griffin.
A delicious dime from Chris Paul there.
Warriors trail by 13, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Curry.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Los Angeles has gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Griffin down low. He's covered by Iguodala. He had his back to the basket for over 5. That'll be a turnover.
Yeah, another turnover. But guys, on the whole, I think they've done a great job of running their offense without too many miscues.
Timeout called the Warriors.
Way too many shots in close, and he's got to get his guys to cut that down in terms of points in the paint.
Clearly the reason for the timeout, Greg. I mean, he wants his guys to toughen up inside and start protecting the rim.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Steve Kerr was going over with his team. He doesn't think they've been giving it their all, saying they've been quicker to rebounds, to every loose ball. We got to wake up. The game's slipping away, and we're letting it happen. We have got to take control of this thing. We'll see if he lit a fire under him, guys.
Thanks, Doris.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Now here's Curry. Dishes it to Pachulia. They set the pick. Durant attacking. No good off the back of the rim.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Here is McGee. Paul left side. 4 on the shot clock. Redick with the 3. Warriors with the rebound. Pachulia's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Curry. Here's Durant. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Durant doing all sorts of things. He has 18 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
And Clark, it's no stretch to say the more points he gives them from beyond the arc, the better off they'll be.
So, for the Clippers, Whiteside comes in for JaVale McGee. And it's Bryant in for J.J. Redick. Well, you knew something was amiss with Durant last year. They eventually shut him down for the entire season after he was injured, which was the safe thing to do. And, Greg, the right thing to do.
Absolutely. When you have a franchise player trying to work back from injury, no need to try and get a few more games from him at the risk of derailing his career.
Warriors trail by 16. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. It's Iguodala with the drive. Shoots from the elbow. That's good.
For Durant, KD did try to return last season, but that foot just wouldn't cooperate, and that's when they had to shut him down.
Now here's Paul. Inside, Pachulia with the steal. And here we go with Thompson running it up the court. And Griffin sends it back. And it's out of bounds. The Warriors able to retain possession here. Green, he's checked in for the Warriors. Pachulia picks up the loose ball, but he was in the backcourt. They'll give it up.
One last thing with Durant's foot. Foot injuries can be a scary thing in the NBA. Along with knees, those are the injuries you don't want to risk anything with.
Stops, pops, and they'll keep possession. Curry passes to Pachulia. And stolen by Whiteside. Ball against Thompson. Bryant up top. Shoots. Almost, but it rolls out. Warriors trail by 14. Thompson with it. George picks him up. And Thompson kicks to Green. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson.
Wow, something's brewing, guys. The three-pointers just continue to flow.
Yeah, they've had a great second half from long range, Greg. I mean, things are definitely starting to look up for them.
And here's Griffin. Following Draymond Green's three, Bryant gets a wide open look. Bryant can't get that one to fall. And it's the Warriors on the break. Stolen by George. The drive by Bryant. It's rebounded by Curry.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for them.
He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Los Angeles calls timeout.
Cannot be happy with how things have gone during this run. I think it's a good decision to take a break.
Yeah, I agree with you, Greg. I mean, he had to do something. They're getting buffaloed and beat up. He couldn't let that continue. He had to call the timeout there.
Now the Warriors moving it up. Durant's running. Clippers leading by 9. Outside Bryant. Down to 5 on the shot clock to stop the drought, and he banks in the layup. Bryant's got 19 points.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
Warriors trail by 11. Now a timeout called by Golden State. Paul George really making a difference here.
They need to make some adjustments because he's absolutely scorching it.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hi, Kevin. Steve Kerr was just going over the plan with his team. He said their plan was run their offense through Kevin Durant. Coach detailed the ways to ensure he's the one in charge out there, with the ball in his hands and the rest of the players falling in line behind him. With the minutes ticking down and the deficit still a big one, those adjustments have to be a chance worth taking, Kevin.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Los Angeles leading by 9. Ball outside. We've got 1:48 left to play here in the fourth. Here's Bryant, and there's the call on Durant. That's foul number 2 for him.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
There's 1:40 left in the fourth quarter. And it's Bryant in the corner. Just 5 to shoot. Power down the jam.
And when the score is as lopsided as it is, and you can see they smell blood in the water, my man is going for the jugular.
Now here's Curry, and Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's his first foul. 1:24 left here in the fourth quarter.
Not a whole lot going down for him at this point. He just can't buy a break.
Outside Bryant. Griffin sets the screen for Bryant. 6 to shoot. The shot by George, no good. The Warriors shooting in the fourth quarter has looked shabby, 38%. Here's Curry with the 3, but they recover it. Paul grabs the board.
And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for the Clippers.
You're right, Steve, and they're fully in control now, but there were some tense moments, I thought, for them throughout this game.
No opportunity really to coast, although the score may appear that they did. I love the way they came together whenever things started to look bleak.
And they took charge when it counted, and they'll be notching their 9th win overall.
And I'm sure that loss earlier in the year stung a bit, because tonight they came out and made all the necessary adjustments, moving them to a record of 1-1 in their 4-game season series against the Warriors.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Paul George. He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
So the Clippers winning this one easily. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
Well, you know, it makes a big difference. I mean, you never felt like they had any doubt that they'd come out on top.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Well, Kobe, it was certainly a great game tonight, but these fans here, I know, are excited about the upcoming game you'll be playing right here in this building against the Clippers. What sort of challenges do the Clippers pose to these Los Angeles Lakers?
The 2K Sports postgame show.